Hello everyone and welcome to the Deeply Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deeply Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 325. Today is Saturday, July 11th, 2020, and I'm glad you could join me today. It's going to be a quick update this week. Would it be? I did fit recording in a little bit earlier this time, so not too crazy. I don't know, I've had a couple of small victories, so that's good. So I had some extra days off for the 4th of July holiday, and one of those days was Monday, and one of those days we ended up, on Monday, sadly ended up spending about 5 hours at the shipping terminal in Brooklyn trying to get custody of some armchairs. I still need to do some trials to figure out if I want to swap this armchair out. I'm not super emotional about this. It's just the only armchair we have. But now I have 3 other ones to choose from. So I'll have to figure out if it's at a good spinning height because I've been spending a lot of time in this room. So I managed to get a whole repeat done in 5 hours. Sorry. Not even that. I got half a repeat done in 5 hours. And that was some pretty focused knitting because my phone was dying and my phone was the only phone that had, like, my husband's phone is out of commission at the moment, so it was like, oh my gosh. It's okay now. So this is the Sizzle Pop. It is a Leslie Ann Robinson pattern, and I got a little bit more than half a repeat done this week, so this is where I left off, and so I'm probably more like, whatever, 3/4 of a repeat this week. So I made some really good progress on this. Would I have rather been spinning? Yes. I opted to not help return the truck when it was done. And this is out of Smutzerella yarns, and You Can Never Keep Me Down, and You Can Never Have Enough Socks. I haven't weighed it, so, but it's more than halfway, so not too shabby. And it seems like I sort of alternate weeks what knitting project gets some major progress, but I did make some major progress on my Mesa sweater wrap as well. That is a Romy Hill pattern that I am knitting out of my Geneva fleece yarn, which is a fleece that I processed, dyed, combed, hackled, spun in this crazy gradient you guys can't see. But you'll notice I got sleeves. So they're rather vestigial. Now I know what the podcast episode is going to be, vestigial. But you can sort of see, like, some of the color changes that are happening. Oh wait, no. We have to have the more scientific doubled up knitting. So I am heading towards teal now, and hopefully from here on out it will be more obvious when colors change. But, oh wait, this goes the other way. So this is the front collar. I have these little sleeves here. It appears that the body is going down to a good length on me. Obviously I'm sitting cross-legged in this chair, so there's that. And things seem to be a little bit bunched up. I managed to arrange this pleasingly before, so you sort of have sleeve action, and then the rest of the sweater is going to drape down from there. So I had a couple of things happen. I guess I used the rest of the blue yarn. I am now only using blue teal. Oh no. We had this stuff pop off. That sucks. And I'm just gonna set that aside for now. So, but not too crazy. So I am heading towards 4 of 9 skeins being done, and I'll be incorporating my 5th skein soon. Nominally speaking, I think my intention was to put the sleeves in on the 5th one, but it looks like ratio-wise having it be in the middle of the 4th skein makes a lot of sense right now. So, not too crazy there. And what would it be? It would be the case where maybe it's putting me a little bit behind on my spinning goals, but hopefully I can figure out some good ways to get some time spinning this weekend to sort of get ahead. So it was my intention for this project, so moving on to spinning. It was my intention to spend about a week doing the first thing of singles, a week with the second, and then it's probably going to take about a week to ply, and then some extra time that would go for like the second plying if needed. And I'm a little bit behind on that. I guess it just depends. So I started this last week. I managed to get all 4 ounces spun without too much issue. I definitely had a moment where I was getting ready to go to bed and I just had this giant glob of fibers stuck on my shirt. So I put that aside and put that in. But what is it? I ended up finishing this, I think, on the 12th day of Stash Dash, the 12th day of Tour de Fleece was this. And then I've had a little bit of time working on the next half. So this is actually a part of the 2nd ounce, so I managed to spin an ounce between, what would it be, days 13 and 14, I believe, of Tour de Fleece. Yeah, this is going to be the 15th day right here. So I'm hoping that I can run through this pretty quickly on the weekend, because I'm a little bit worried that if it took me 8 days in July to get through that first bit, it's going to take me longer because I don't have as much, or I don't have 3 days off work. So, and the colors are definitely coming up a bit different on this braid, so it's no guarantee that they were actually in the same dye lot. So the colors themselves look a little bit less, I'm trying to think of the right word. The colors on this braid are coming across maybe a little bit more yellow. The magenta color seems to be a little bit later of a pink. I know, it's interesting, because this seems to be like a little bit cooler looking. And the other thing that's happening is, while it was pretty easy when you're working full braid to make very crisp color transitions, it's way harder when you split it. But hopefully it won't be too crazy to do, so I'll probably move my wheel to a different part of the house and go from there. Or whatever, figure out a different cozy spinning spot for a couple of days, so should be good. So that is the excitement there. So we probably need to get a move on, but I don't know. We'll see how everything shakes out. This is the most ambitious month for this, so not too crazy. So I'm doing this for the Fun Onion Challenge and their Ride to Spin specifically for Great Britain. I'm doing it for the Completely Twisted and Arbitrary Spin the Bin. It's my last bin fiber. I'm doing it as a part of the Nest Feather Your Nest challenge. And that's the one that has the hardest deadline for me to meet. Like, this wouldn't have been a big deal otherwise. And yeah, I think that's everything I got for. Maybe I'll count it for Amy Florence's Marlowe along, because it will be very barber pulley. I'm not sure. It'll be fun to find out. And at this point, I'm just definitely leaning towards making that, so taking my 2 plies that have been split fractally, 2-plying that, and then chain plying the resulting yarn. So, just want to do it. So, that's going to be entertaining and fun. Let's see, other things. So I did end up taking actually a fairly significant amount of time, so I should just be a little bit less hard on myself, but I did take a significant time to sit through and repair all of my socks. And then I got to have the joy of wearing hand-spun socks this week, which is so happy. Oh man. When I finish something, I need to cast on a pair of hand-spun socks, because it was very sad, because all 3 pairs of hand-spun socks had some sort of hole in them. I'm hoping this is the last time that I need to do bulk repairs like this, because what it boils down to was they were single cut carpet beetle ones. Aside from what happened, I ended up re-knitting the cuff on one of the socks, and I haven't sat down and calculated that out for Stash Dash. I'm not too concerned, because this project here is going to push me over 15K, and after that point, would it be? I'm glad that I'm back on Team Crazy Pants again, just because I'm not moving house right now. Life's simpler, for sure. So, I don't need to do anything ridiculous in order to do that. And honestly, like, sort of in the spirit of things, I feel like darning socks is also in the spirit of Stash Dash, but I'm not gonna count all that yardage, so whatever. But re-knitting, like, whatever. It was the case where it was a cuff down sock. It, like, got notched, so there were probably 4 to 10 rows that had been destroyed, basically. And so I just had to keep ripping back, but it was going the wrong way in the knitting. And, well, if you have a stockinette tube, it doesn't matter which way you zip. It was in ribbing, and so everywhere where you did, like, a change, like, it resulted sort of in this twist that you just couldn't undo. So I'm wondering if that's where a lot of people got the idea. You can't go the other way. You can't go the other way in ribbing. And it is half a stitch offset, but that's a little bit less important for 2x2. Oh well. So, not too crazy. But that's like a weight off my shoulders, because they were all just sitting back there on the chair, and I was like, I want socks. And it was so nice. So I need to make more hand-spun socks, and I had this whole stash of hand-spun sock yarn, because I went on this crazy sock yarn spinning kick, and I have not evaluated any of my work. So it needs to happen. As you do. So unfortunately, it's going to be a short episode this week. Not too much excitement. I just had a couple small victories, so I was returned on the camera for that. So, what would it be? I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I look forward to talk to you guys next week. So, take care, guys. Bye-bye.